Hello everybody and welcome to Gleipnir episode 4 anime review. This show is weird. If you have come this far and still aren't sure of that fact, the show's pretty damn weird. I think last week I jokingly mentioned aliens and yeah, that's didn't think that that's where we were going, but what can you do? This is so ridiculous and, not over the top, that's the wrong word, redonkulous, let's just say that. It's so redonkulous that I kinda love it, because it doesn't remind me of anything else. So that's a good thing. Even if it's not for you, it's not for lack of trying to have a unique idea. I'm having a great time with this personally. Yes, the fan service is a bit off-putting. Whatever, that's pretty much my point of view on it. Whatever. But anyway, let's jump into the episode and see how it all went down and everything, because blimmin' hell, a lot went down this week. Let's get into it. We pick up where we left off last week, which, in case you forgot, the girl who we are assuming is Elena, I think they actually do say her name, Elena rips off Shuichi's head, rips Shuichi, he's dead. Claire is fine though, it's just her head sticking out, because that's how that would work. But part of me did think, hey, hang on a minute, wouldn't her head come off as well? No, it does not. Just Shuichi is dead. Claire gets mad, pulls the gun, gets wrecked because she shoots the bullets and then her body opens holes, shadowy holes for the bullets to go through so she doesn't get shot. Honestly, it's pretty much broken ability and it's kind of cool and awesome and I love it. But yeah, Claire gets wrecked. Then Elena finally realizes, oh, you're Claire. Hang on a minute, I know you. You was like my sister or something. And Claire's like, hey, why'd you kill my parents? And she's like, they were bad. And to be fair, they did sound pretty bad. They weren't the greatest. And then she's like, you said you were gonna kill them once, so I did it instead. And it's like, you're a bit of a crazy, aren't you, Elena? Claire's crazy too, but she's good crazy. Elena is bad crazy. I know last week I was like, man, I kind of like her, but I'm leaning after this week's episode. I'm back on Team Claire, I guess. We'll go with that, sure. But yeah, so then she gives her a coin to go. We learn more about the coins in a minute. She says, hey, take this and go to the vending machine motel thingamadoodle, very important. Then she gets a phone call from her manager, I guess. They don't say, but I'm just going to throw that assumption out there. And then she leaves and everything. Claire is like, oh, well, guess I'll die. So she gets the gun, the really oversized gun, is like, I'm gonna kill myself now to be with Shuichi or whatever. And then the disembodied head, disembodied head talks, is like, no, don't do it, Claire. I'm not dead, but I'm not alive, and she's like, okay, hugs the dog head thing. It is a very weird visual. It works in the moment, in the world that they've set up, but if you were just to show it to someone, just without any context, to be like, what the hell's going on? That's most of this show, actually. That is most of this show. Yeah, so anyway, then the two of them, she's carrying half Shuichi's head, she's carrying that. They go to the motel, where they meet. I don't know what to say about him, to be honest. Let's get to that. So they meet that guy at the vending machine. Sort of looks like a Akechi from Persona 5. Played that recently. He's like, hey, I can fix Shuichi. Give me coin, and I can do that. She does. There's a fancy drink from the vending machine. It's all very weird. This whole bit's very weird. So the head reattaches, but he's got to hold it in place while the drink works its magic to reattach his head. That's pretty normal. Claire gets out the suit and everything. Remember, she's in her underwear. That's a crucial plot point. But then the dude casually drops a bombshell. It's like, yeah, I'm an alien, by the way. Okay. That's my reaction. I was like, of course he is. But then he starts perving on Claire. Because he's like, I'm in the body of a teenage boy, so I'm into boobs and everything. He does end up getting kneed in the bollocks, I do believe. Yes, he does. Then they start talking all seriously about how sometimes people believe they could be someone else. They wish they could be someone else. This whole time, of course, Claire is in her underwear, and it's, yeah. Then he eats her hair, and while he's middle of this speech, he eats her hair from Claire. By the way, just before this speech, he'd asked her for some pubic hair, but she had said no because she's She might be crazy, but she's not a weirdo, I guess, is what we're at. Then, because the dude turned... God, man. The dude ate the hair. We'll get to that. I've just noticed there's a bit I almost missed. So, guy was talking about how Shuichi, that was like his own desire to turn into that or whatever when he drank the thing and gave the coin in. We know, we can assume that's not what happened. Instead, Elena probably maybe either must have forced him to drink it somehow. And it's like her ideal or something of Shuichi. Not too sure on that, but whatever. Then he turns into Claire. I might have got this slightly the wrong way around, but it's fine. He turns into Claire, not wearing any clothes, and yeah, again, then they talk more seriousness, but now we got underwear Claire and fully naked Claire and Shuichi. Honestly, the fact that he's holding his head like this, he's like, it's a pretty good visual for this. It's a pretty, it fits what's going on, basically. After their whole talk and everything, she's like, hey, can you stop using my body, please? Because you're revealing all my secrets. Private parts is her secrets in this instance. I hate anime sometimes, but at the same time I absolutely love it. Oh well. So yeah, then Shuichi can turn back to normal now, and he does. He's human again, hooray. Immediately gets a Claire hug, and I'm like, see, she's not that bad. She does hugs and things too. Yeah, but then the alien, we get the explanation of what the coins are now. And boy, I was going to say you could not write this stuff, but someone did. So you clearly can write this stuff. So the coins are aliens too, and it's just basically to get more people in the spaceship so they can travel better. But they ended up crashing on Earth and all the coins got scattered everywhere, and I guess they don't have a way to return to... I guess they don't really have a form, but they could turn into a different form. Why is there only the one dude who's a human? And so the coins are aliens, is basically where we're at now. He's basically getting people to gather them up, and he's like enticing people with like, hey, look what you can get if you help gather my countrymen, I guess. And yeah, he's like, hey, you can turn into a thing from a manga or whatever. Really hate the subtitles. This is a thing that I've noticed in a few shows, but when the subtitles say anime or manga, for whatever reason, they translate it to cartoon and comic book, and it's just like, I'm watching this subbed on Funimation. I think I'm a bit aware what a manga and an anime is. You know, it's just one of them things where it's like, what are you doing? You know, it's bizarre. I've noticed that it comes up every so often. Every time I see it, I'm like, you're aware what I'm watching, right? I know this stuff. It's weird, but when they ask him, or when she asks him, sorry, basically, hey, did Elena force him to drink the thing? He dodges the question. Very, I was going to say stealthily. Wasn't stealthy. Oh, she just let him get away with it because she's nice like that, I guess. So yeah, the weird alien Goro Akechi looking dude who can also turn into people whose hair he eats. And the coins are aliens. It said some vaguely serious stuff in here somewhere, but that's redonkulous, you know. I'm still enthralled because at this point I'm in for the ridiculousness of it. I'm still having a great time, if you can't tell. It's very, very entertaining. But we got a bit more of the episode left to go, so we'll get to that. First thing to note, Shuichi's got this badass like neck scar now from where his neck fell off. It was ripped off, and it's like literally it's a rip, but it's like a scar. It's very cool. They walk home, I guess. What's her name? Claire is talking about how basically, hey, Elena probably forced you to drink the thing, which I think is the conclusion that every single person watching has also come to. So I guess we're just as crazy as she is. There's a scary thought. He then basically says, hey, please don't use the coin, you know. We're in too deep, don't use the coin. It's not worth it. And she's like, no, I'm happy now, you know, because you're great, I'm great. You know, and she's smiling, and it's like, this is almost really sweet. Almost, but it's the two of you, so it's not. I don't mean that in a, you know, burn the ship kind of way. I mean it in a like, you're a bit of a crazy, He's probably a bit of a crazy too at this point. Yeah, it's weird, you know. The next day, she says, oh, before that, she's like, hey, I won't use the coin because I got you now. And it's like, oh, you know, as I said, sort of sweet, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but you climb inside him, and it's all fleshy and it's weird. So, like, in context, is it still sweet? I'm moving on. So, the next day, Shuichi is sort of moody at school. He, like, almost breaks a dude's arm, and he's not wearing his glasses anymore. How I would describe it, he's not putting on so much of an act. He's being more like himself, which just turns out kind of a little, he's a bit more of a douche. No, that guy asked for it. That guy was being a dick. He was asking for it. Get him, Shuichi. But yeah, then on the roof, right, got to remember this, that girl whose name I haven't wrote down because I've come to the conclusion she's not going to be that important. She comes and talks to him and is like, hey man, and he says some very specific things. He's like, hey, what if someone gets the power to destroy the world and everything? But he keeps talking. He keeps making it more and more specific, and she's just standing there like, I mean, I'm great. I would save my parents. I'm pure-hearted and innocent. And I'm like, I don't trust you. You're gonna be a bad one. You're gonna get a coin. And I don't trust you. Also, while they're talking, Claire is like spying on them, basically making sure that bitch don't steal her man or something. But yeah, then the next night, I guess Shuichi is like reckoning, like, hey, there's a bigger story going on here, and I'm not the main character. And I'm like, Shuichi, look at my anime list. You're listed as a main character. You silly Shuichi. Are you an idiot? Of course you are. But no, then him and Claire, I guess the next morning, they're going to, hang on, I'm just going to make sure I get this right in my notes. They're going to go investigate the crashed alien spaceship to look around for coins. And at the same time, that's a good idea, but at the same time, it's like, surely everyone would have had that idea, so there'd be no coins about. It's like the Hunger Games, right? You don't charge the little pedestal thing at the beginning, because everyone's going to do that. It's going to be a bloodbath. You run away, and you try and, sneak away that, get stuff that way. That's a weird analogy, but I feel like it's an alright one. Maybe, who knows? That was the end of this week's episode. I'm loving this show for its ridiculousness. I know a lot of people are a bit iffy on it. There are definitely reasons to be iffy on it. It's certainly weird, which makes it not for everyone. But hey, I will take weirdness, uniqueness, strangeness. I'd love that. I think it's good. It's definitely, if nothing else, it's got me intrigued. So I'd consider that a win. Claire's the best, obviously. I've come to that conclusion after much deliberation. It wasn't much deliberation at all. It's just, hey, she's crazy, but she's not that crazy. She's more sane than the other one. I guess that's where we're at with this. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out greatly. Thank you very much. I will see you next week, as long as it's not delayed. Hasn't been yet, last I checked. See you then for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.